You are now listening to the podcast Sigrdrifa and Winter Solstice 2021. Enjoy! Another year, another turn of the wheel. December 21st at 16:59, almost 5 o'clock in the afternoon Swedish time, marks the longest night of the year. It's when the axis of the earth is the furthest away from the sun. Solstice, it comes from Latin, it means the sun stands still. And the legends say that the earth stands still for 3 days before it takes another turn. At solstice, we start our Yule celebration. It's the bright and shining sun god Balder. He's coming back to us, and the time of the blind god Höder is over. Our winter and midsummer solstices are the most important celebrations of the year. Is this winter solstice of 2021 different to all other solstices? I will sadly say that it is different. We are painfully reminded that we are prisoners of an ancient legend. We shall die by and for this legend. We are proud of our origin, our heritage, and our ancient advanced technologies. And our precious blood memory reminds us daily of times past and gives us advance notice about our future. We have understanding about the times we are now living, and with this dark stage of Kali Yuga age comes catastrophic times and degradation of culture and civilization. We know that. And we also know that the onslaught and fierce intensity in this cosmic war on the races shall intensify. We know what to expect. This natural world of wonder is now under siege. Transhumanism called for humanity to be forced to evolve beyond current physical and mental limitations. And the system of technocracy is in effect bringing our world to slavery and master control as we have never seen it before. In large, we have lost our ancient science, yes, the superior technology based on transcendental magic. Our ancient forefathers had the power to cure both nature and people. They could calm the raging waters of the rivers and the sea. They could even change the climate at will. And they taught their people to construct buildings of stone. This was the science of the megalith. And when the stones were placed in special astral magnetic points in different centers of the earth, the vibrations of the stone and the rocks created cosmic music. And the people danced in circles at these holy places, and they stomped their feet on sacred ground. They made contact with the astral world. They created stone music, and this vibrational magic music healed all in nature. We know that the earth is a living being, and each part of the earth has its own special vibrations which influences the people that live there, and the inhabitants are being transformed accordingly. This ancient science has nothing to do with magnetism or electricity. It is the use of the currents of the earth. It resembles doing acupuncture on the face of the earth. And this science also gives us knowledge of the interior workings of our earth as well. All the great spiritual monuments across the earth are complete. The megalith of the northern, southern and eastern hemispheres, Stonehenge and the Great Pyramids, it's all based upon this advanced magical technology. Many have tried to recover this science, and apparently the Druids recovered it. They understood the science of the Hyperboreans. Stonehenge was their temple, and the very construction created cosmic music. Druid means to see wisely. They were magicians with the power of Atlantis and Hyperborea. It is said that when they were in battle, they were all in deep concentration, and the arrows went right through them as if nothing had happened. The Druids themselves did not fight. They did not use weapons, and they did not harm or kill animal or man, but they gave great importance to military formations, and they taught the Celts the tactics of war. It took 20 years of training to become a Druid, and they had to go through 4 degrees. And the number 4 is the number of the Druids and the number of the Celts. The Druids had a caste system dividing society up in 4 castes: agriculture, businessmen, builders, and warriors. And it makes so much sense. Everyone in a category according to their skills. The Druid symbol is the 4-leaf clover, which many today believe is a symbol of good luck and prosperity. In reality, the clover is a revolving swastika that forms the figure 8, which is the symbol of infinity and immortality. If we had the knowledge of the ancient city of Atlantis, if we could have been taught by the Hyperboreans or the Druids, we could have avoided natural disasters and overcome the destruction of this earth. The number of the polar Hyperboreans is number 5. The Hyperboreans are the 5th caste system called Hamsa. It means those without a caste. And the number 5 is found in the center of the 4-leaf clover, where the swastika rotate, but the center does not move, it stands still. And the center symbolizes the interior man, or the interior woman, the total man, and is also called finding one's self, or Selbst in German. And in the center, that symbol for Selbst is a rose, and that is more real than all the flowers in the garden. It's called the non-existent flower. Both Carl Gustav Jung and Nietzsche described finding Selbst. It is about the esoteric path and the deep knowledge of ourselves, finding the ultimate ideal center of being, that does not move, but only aspiring to avoid again and again the incarnation of the eternal return. We have reached the stage in this cosmic game where we must walk the path alone, trusting ourselves and the enlightened masters before us. For we are being led by the most trusted guides and companions. Our blood memory is synchronized with every aspect of our lives. We do not believe in sin. Our race believes in Hyperborean magic. It is the Order of Odin-Wotan. And the divine purpose of reawakening the memory banks of our DNA is to overcome the process of involution. For we are under siege, as I have mentioned before. Our noble DNA are being threatened with the pursuit to be modified. It shall not happen. This is our red line. How could we lose our dream of our return to our Urland, beyond the north wind, the polar home of the Hyperboreans? We cannot. And we are told that for every 700 years, the laurel blooms and there is a fire offensive on humanity. This is the war of fire and ice. And we have not lost hope. Our ancient myth also tells us that when the destruction of our planet becomes inevitable, the last battalion of our warrior poets will enter into combat at a higher energy vibration. For they were born to fight in this war, to bring about the new solar age. And the prince of slavery, the impostor demiurgic god of this world, shall himself be enslaved and disappear in the frightful hollowness of the cosmic catastrophe. We stand in agreement with the great philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche. Let's look each other in the face. We are Hyperboreans. We know well enough how remote our place is. We have discovered that happiness. We know the way. We got our knowledge of it from thousands of years in the labyrinth. And the ancient Greek poet Pindar, he said, "Neither by land or nor by water will you find the road to the Hyperboreans, beyond the north, beyond the ice, beyond death, our life, our happiness." The Hyperborean continent disappeared, just like Asgard, the home of the Aesir's. Through fire and water, Asgard sank into the depths of the sea. It was at the last battle of Ragnarök, the twilight of the gods. But the legend of our lost continent has not disappeared. It will reappear again. Asgard will rise again from the oceans with ready-to-harvest fields. And the time where peace and wisdom rule the land shall again start the process of reaching the golden age. In Norse, it's called Frodafridre. So let us together celebrate the longest night this winter solstice 2021. For we know the sun shall again light our path. And as we chant, "Hail to our sun this day," lighting our path on our way, we are going home, no more being alone, rising each day anew, joy in the morning dew. Hail to our sun this day, and hail to winter solstice 2021. You have been listening to the podcast Sigrdrifa. I sure hope that you enjoy this winter solstice 2021.